What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Salamangreat deck profile. Of course, post-BANLIST, this deck actually keeps getting better and better, and the other decks are just getting absolutely annihilated. So, Salamangreat Circle is finally a 3. This card is broken. It dodges Droll and Logbird like there's no freaking tomorrow because it's a quick play spell card, obviously. And it has another kind of irrelevant effect where it can make your Salamangreat monsters unaffected by monster effects, but that effect comes up like once every 25 years. So, yeah, very interesting deck, very consistent, very... not super powerful, but very resilient, and has a great grind game because of the recursion. So that's what I really love about the Salamangreat deck. But of course, if you get hit by Droll and Logbird... no, sorry, not Droll. Dimension Shifter, you might cry just a little bit. So yeah, still a good deck though. Anyways, before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes. I will be making a live stream on this deck as soon as I get the 1,000 likes. And now let's jump right into it. So, double Jack Jaguar. I'm playing double Desires, so that's the reason why it's 2 in this build. And 1 Salamangreat Falco. This card allows you to have some nice recursion for your trap cards, or even your spell cards. Became more relevant with Circle of 3, because before, when it was just at 1, sometimes you would actually use the other effect of Falco to like bounce back monsters a little more often. But it is needed to make the Baguska very efficiently, so that's the reason why it's there. Because Baguska is absolute game against Flunderies. It's the main... and Despia. So... and Sword Soul. Basically, Baguska is literally broken against everyone. So that's the reason why these monsters are there. Obviously, the one of Gazelle, Triple Buffalo. Please don't play Lady Debug. I'm just not a big fan of that card. It's really fragile. It loses to every hand trap like Valor, Ogre even... Ash, I don't know, and Buffalo can chain block, so it doesn't even lose to Ash, so this card is absolutely ridiculous. Triple Spinny, Triple Foxy, you could theoretically get away with only 2 Foxy, and some builds are also playing 2 Spinny, but like, I don't know, personally I'm not like a super like expert on the matter, so maybe 2 Spinny, 2 Foxy might be better, but then you're gonna have to compensate by playing way more Salamangreat cards. So that's the reason why, I don't know, I feel like 3/3 is just a little better, especially when you're playing Desires. Yeah, that's it for the Salamangreat monsters. We're also playing Microcoder, a fantastic card. It allows you to link away one of your monsters to make a Kotalker Link monster. So the Kotalker Heat Soul is a great monster that you can summon, and then you get to search a Signet spell or trap card from your deck or hand when you do that, when you link it off. So you get to search either for Signet Mining or Signet Conflict. Signet Mining can search your Gazelle and get your engine started, so Microcoder is almost like a Salamangreat monster in a way. And Signet Conflict is like a super broken Omni-Negate that negates and banishes, and prevents your opponent from using card or effects with the same name as the negated card for the rest of the next turn. Absolutely broken. So yeah, one of the best counter traps I have ever read in my entire life. And yeah, for the hand traps, I'm playing 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Imperm. I think these are probably the best hand traps that you can play. Ash is broken because it's a fire, so you can recycle it back with Sunlight Wolf. And then Valor and Imperm are just the most kind of applicable for most decks. If you play DD Crow, then it's great against Despia, but it's not super broken against Sword Soul, and it does literally nothing against Flunderies. So I wanted a hand trap that could cover as much ground as possible, and I felt like both Valor and Imperm were basically the same, so that's the reason why they were there. Obviously, Imperm is better because you can draw it for turn, or draw it off of Desires, but whatever. You can argue, though, that I'm wrong, and Valor is better because you can draw it off of Kotalker Heat Soul on your opponent's turn, so great arguments for pretty much all these cards. Anyways, that's it for the monsters. For the spell, obviously, double Desires. I think this deck is great with Desires. I love it. And if you draw like a surplus Desires, it can also be your discard for Signet Mining, so not really too much conflicting. I'm just a big fan of Desires, honestly. Triple Signet Mining for consistency, obviously. Call by the Grave. This card is overall great, even when you're not negating hand traps. It acts as a Call by the Grave. DD Chrome. When your opponent goes branded in red in Despia. Double Will of the Salamangreat, continuous spell that revives back monsters. And it's a soul charge if you have like a relinked monster. So you can revive back like up to 2 monsters from your grave. Like the Sunlight Wolf is a link 2 monster, so revive back 2 monsters. If you had like a link 3 Heat Leo or the link 4 whatever monster, Pyro something, then you could be reviving back more monsters, but I don't really recommend those monsters. And then the 1 Sanctuary with, of course, I clearly recommend people to play 3 Sanctuary with Terraforming, Set Rotation, and Metaverse. That's obviously the best way to play Salamangreat. You always want to see this card, right? Oh man, this is the worst card to draw in your deck. And yeah, the other trap cards are kind of obvious. 1 Rage and 1 Roar. Not necessarily trying to draw multiples, so only one of each is fine because they're easily searchable with Gazelle. You send them, and then you either recycle it back with a Reeling Sunlight Wolf, or you set them back with Falco. So none of these plays actually lose to Ash because you're never searching the card directly from your deck to your hand. However, the Gazelle can get ashed, and that way you can't really get your trap cards because that would be the only way to foolish them. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. 40 cards, absolutely flawless. And now for the extra deck, 1 Baguska and 1 Mirage Talio. You could also be playing Tornado Dragon. I just wanted to have as many Link monsters as possible in my extra deck because you want to Link summon more often than not, and Baguska is always really broken against everyone, whereas Dweller Blind is a little dangerous, and the decks that lose to Dweller also lose to Baguska anyway, so this covers way more ground, I want to say, because it's also good against Flunderies. And Mirage Talio, obviously, 1 is enough because you can easily recycle it back. 1 access code, 1 transcode. Transcode actually doesn't come up that often because you can OTK without even using this, just using like, I don't know, Update Jammer and like a Link 2 monster like Splash Mage, and that would already be game. Deco Talger Heat Soul, absolutely broken. Update Jammer, obviously. Phoenix, great card. It's a fire monster, so you can make Sunlight Wolf using this card and any other monsters, so you can turn like generic monsters that aren't even fire into this, even though all of your monsters basically are fire, so it doesn't really matter that much. And yeah, triple Sunlight Wolf, no shit. Triple Veilings, 1 Splash Mage, great card, it's a monster reborn. And 1 Code Talker because Microcoder can link off one of your monsters with it in the hand to make Code Talker and then search your Sided Conflict or Sided Mining. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck, and for the idea section, not a side deck. Gonna have to keep on repeating that. Parallel Exceed is a good card that you could potentially play in the deck, not too bad. Prohibit Snake is a searchable out to Winda in case you play Lady Debug, but you don't necessarily need to play Lady Debug because Sided Mining also outs it. And this takes care of monsters that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, so overall very good card. It actually outs more cards than just the freaking thingy Winda. So yeah, if Thunder Dragon Colossus ever comes back, then bye-bye Prohibit Snake game. But Mirage Talio can also bounce it back, so it doesn't matter. Ably is like the best side deck card going first against Despia, and you can also argue that you can main deck this card, because if you give control to Ably to your opponent literally cannot play, because no Despia players are playing Link monsters in their extra deck, and even if they did, if they summon a Link monster, they can't use Branded Fusion because you can only summon Fusion monsters from your extra deck during the turn you use Branded Fusion. It's not like for the rest of the turn, so if you Link off first, you can't do shit. And Ibli, like the only out of Ibli would be like Forbidden Droplet or Tribute Summoning over Ibli, which is like unrealistic because the Tribute monsters in Despia are all level 7 or higher, or like level 8 or something. So yeah, good luck getting there. And yeah, Droll and Logbird, you don't lose to Droll, but you can play Droll, which is nice if you want to main deck the card. Go for it. Dweller, Rafflesia with the Grave Digger's Trap Hole if you want to, and if you're scared of Nibiru, but Underworld Goddess if you want to out the Adignister Link with, what are the other annoying monsters? Psychic and Punisher, etc. Ultimate Falcon, whatever. Appaloosa, relatively good card. It's a little harder to summon, but it's still very nice. Ningirsu, I don't know why it's there, but I guess it's there. Lingeribo, pretty good card against Eldritch. You can negate and banish trap cards, very important. So the Scarlet will not go to the grave, so you're permanently making your opponent lose 1 resource. And then Multiple Destruction is a card that I've already made a few videos about. Well, actually, no, only one. But still, it's a really nice card in Salamangreat. Relatively good side deck card. And then, whatever, some other trap cards that... Well, Rivalry and Gozen Match are pretty interesting. Rivalry against Despia and Gozen Match against Flunderies, for example. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this Salamangreat deck profile. Let me know your thoughts about this deck in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.